we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
What up, y'all? It's Shay Love.
And VA.
And this is Girl, What's Up With That?
Your weekly check-in with your best friends in your head.
Hi!
Hi. We're back.
We're back. We are back. Mm-hmm.
Cause shit.
Mm-hmm.
We had to take some time.
A lot of it.
We did. Because we were in December.
Our last episode?
Was it in December or November?
Our last episode was before Thanksgiving.
Look, it was a lot going on. We had election results on the 5th. We had to take a beat. Then we had Thanksgiving. And then it was just the world, life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We had to recalibrate.
Yes, we are Black girls who rest.
We needed to rest because what you're not going to do is ask for any of our help for the next ever.
No. I am a proud member of the 92%, and I am not helping none of y'all motherfuckers.
Don't ask me. And I felt like we needed to take that break so that we can focus on other shit.
Like not helping y'all.
Basically. Like my no has gone so cold-blooded.
Yeah.
They be asking me about stuff. I don't even look at them. Miss Virginia,
I love that for you.
That's not anybody on my caseload. I'm sorry.
I love that.
I can't help it. No. Getting firm in that no.
I love that for you.
That's all we got. All we have is ourselves. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that other percentage that wasn't a part of the 92, let's be honest, I'm still upset about that.
Listen, at this point, I'm not asking any more questions. I see the facts.
Yeah.
I see the numbers. I see the facts. I don't need to ask any more questions. I'm not asking how. I'm not asking why. If you have been keeping up with me on my socials these last couple of days, I've been back to being active. And the marketing major, the journalist in me, she's going with hardcore facts from here on out.
And I think that's all you can do. It's kind of like reclaiming our time and our peace. Okay?
Yeah.
Because, girl, I stumbled on you reading yesterday. And I was like, that is so great. And you know what I did? I went and I got my Kindle and I finished one of my books.
Yeah.
And I read and I said, this is what we're doing. Let me recalibrate. Let me see what's going on. And I fell in love with a gangster.
Hallelujah. Yeah. As you should.
Trash, but
listen, I'm reading 2 books at the same time, totally different ends of the spectrum. One, dragons and magic and all that. The other one, age gap, mafia, romance.
See, I think you need that balance because I just finished Ketanji Brown Jackson's book, The Lovely One, and then I needed a break because that was like, whoo, yes. But then I was like, oh, okay, let me get a little hood fiction in. Get these 140 pages.
Yeah. Yeah. You need it. You need the balance.
But yes, back to regular scheduled programming. Sorry you missed us. So like, Ray, how you been?
You know, the break was needed. The recovery was needed. I got a lot of adulting done.
Yes.
You know, I moved, which is always a task. Moving is a task.
It's a whole job.
Yeah. But I did the smart thing and I overlapped. So I didn't have to be out right away. So I had more time to.
Okay. So it was a transition.
Instead of a whole abrupt, like, boom.
Okay. Yeah. So you're getting comfortable in your new space.
I'm also like starting to purge a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm purging a lot. Because for some of my stuff had been in storage. So it's one of those things, well, if I didn't touch it in that whole time and it didn't because there were things that like crossed my mind and I was like, ooh, I need to go to my storage and get that. So I'm like, if I didn't think about it this whole time, maybe, obviously there's stuff there's stuff like exceptions to the rule. Like all of my photo albums. No, I didn't need it at the time, but they're nice to like have, like coffee table books, things like that. But
memories.
Other stuff, I'm like, some stuff I pop open a box, I start rifling through. I might take out 1 or 2 things. I'm like, all right, the rest of this can go. So,
yeah, I love that for you.
Although I'm having a new experience of not having carpet at all.
Really?
Yeah, no carpet anywhere, which means I need rug. Like, I need rug. You know, like us, we like to decorate and make it our own. Oh, let me just get a rug.
No,
in
you
here.
need something.
No, I need them. Yeah. And then that, like that fact that I need it. But when you're doing decor and like setting the vibe of your house, you don't just buy the first rug you see. But I have like, there's like a level of importance to know, bitch, get this rug. Because last night I asked Alexa what the temperature was outside, and she told me it was 32 degrees.
It was.
I know it's been a while since we did like elementary science, but 32 degrees is how cold it needs to be for it to be freezing. So like I said, I need rugs.
Yeah. You do. You need something just in case when you want to take your slippers off, put your feet on a rug.
Yeah.
Paris needs something. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We can't have our little paws being cold now.
Yeah.
So. I wonder, do they have cat protective services? And how would she call? Is it like meow, 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 meow?
I mean, given the fact that for the last 3 nights, she has kept me up, I think
she needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mean like, oh, like she's just up in the middle of the night. No, like so I don't know if I talked about this on the episode, but yes, I did. Because you said, let's give prayers to Paris. So y'all remember at the end of last year, she had to go to the vet because she had broken her toe and all that or whatever. So now she has medication that she has to take. I don't give it to her as often as the vet said because it does make her sleepy. This little heathen was fighting the medicine. I could literally, you know, like when babies are tired or toddlers are tired and you see them like wobbling. She literally could not walk in a straight line last night. Fighting this medicine so hard. Fighting this medication so hard. Then when I'm like, okay, let's get in bed. It's time to go sleep, whatever. I'm shutting the house down, turn off lights, doing all the things, shutting the house down. First, she got up there, got on the end of the bed in her little spot. And then I guess she just decided she didn't want to go to sleep. So now she walked through the house. She's wobbling through the house. Just, girl, if you don't go to bed.
Lights are off.
It's 10:30. We got a bedtime around here.
Because we have big girl stuff to do in the morning.
In the morning. When I leave, how about this? When I leave, when I'm at work doing my big girl stuff, you can sleep all day. If that's what you decide to do. But right now, if you don't want to go sleep, listen.
Silencio, pussycat.
You're going to sit down and act like you got some goddamn sense.
Right. Didn't nobody tell you to meow?
Right.
Shoot.
Fighting this damn medicine. So, but yeah. I don't know about cat protective services because they had to do an interview. She wouldn't pass the test.
She probably wouldn't. She'd probably get in trouble.
Right. She had too much attitude.
Get your ass out of here. They might give her some more medication. You know how they do.
Yeah. Right. Oh, your mother's black. Let's put you on some more.
That's crazy.
How have you been, friend?
I've been alive. I was gonna say the break was much needed. We got some good girlfriend time in. We got to see Wicked.
Mufasa. Oh, we did.
And Mufasa. Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. Hey. I hope that never leaves the front lobe of my brain.
Ever.
Because I'd be like, you know what I know? Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa.
That's Mufasa.
I
want to be like 80. I want to be like 80 years old, like in the chair giggling. Because
that was so great. That was so great.
Yeah. If
you didn't see Mufasa, you should have seen it because it's an excellent movie. Yeah. But we held space for Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, Defying Gravity, Elphaba. Like Keke Palmer said, that is a Negro spiritual.
It is.
Especially when they mixed it with John P. Key testimony and they dropped it low.
Listen, I can't. Already couldn't listen to it. You know, the dancer theater kid in me already couldn't listen to Defying Gravity without crying. But now Cynthia's version.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Okay, the original. Yeah, she's great.
Idina Menzel is great.
She's great.
You have to listen in Cynthia's voice when she goes. People are focused on the but it's down. Like every time she says,
yes,
down, it's the. You talk about a Baptist fit, bitch. Somebody was like, "What are you listening to? Why getting in the car? What is this? This is Defying Gravity."
Mm-hmm.
Just crying.
Mm-hmm.
Just you can't.
And then the video. Remember the video I sent you when she was talking about like how she connected to the song,
mm-hmm.
and her little her,
song.
and she's
like, it's like, "Come with me, come on now." Come on now.
It's safe now. We did this. We know how to do this. Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like if the movie would have came out in October or September, we could have had Kamala.
I hate it here.
Because that 8% would have came over to the 92%. We would have been 100%. They would have fucked their husbands and told their husbands. The mixed races. I don't know. Maybe the white women would have got balls.
I feel like that 8% isn't really black women. You know, like technically speaking, you can check any box.
Yeah, they're probably like off black.
Or like they checked black one time so they could get a scholarship in college, and now they just had to keep checking black the rest of their life.
Okay, Rachel Dolezal, because she checks black.
Yeah,
she checks black. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. That's what I mean, in normal terms, I'd be like, race is a construct, blah blah blah. But in this particular case, they use the race as a construct to their advantage.
But yeah, we had a good time. We got to watch the Beyonce Bowl.
Yeah. How many times have you watched it?
I don't want to say.
Okay. Well, I was going to be surprised if you had a number at all, to be honest.
I've watched it a lot. But I will say in moments where I just felt like I needed a pick-me-up.
Yeah.
Watch the Beyonce Bowl. I think on Monday itself, I think I watched it a total of 4 times. Just Monday.
As you should. No. There was a period of time where I was like all but falling asleep to Black is King. So. Yeah.
So I watched the Beyonce Bowl this Monday 4 times. And then I went into Homecoming and I was. But again, I was like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. But also, you know how I feel about Beyonce's live vocals. Once I hear the live version of the song, I don't want to go back to the album. I don't.
That is so true.
Let me also tell, because we already know Texas Hold'em was on my top 5 list. Yes. So the live version of Texas Hold'em, Beyonce's running all over that goddamn song.
She is. And she's flying up in the sky.
The other day I was doing my hair. I said, Alexa's gonna turn on Cowboy Carter. Listen, I don't want to listen to this.
Amazing. It is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I even sent Beyonce a message on Monday, like, "Girl, what have you got planned? Drop it. Now.
It's a tour.
But I'm just saying, drop it now.
Oh,
Let the niggas know now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a tour?
Well, you didn't see, like, they couldn't pull some of the
I did see some of those dates.
So the dates, but like, for example, like not Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster had time to pull the email marketing, but like Songkick didn't. So people
also the timing, because one of them was big. Like one was like Chicago in September. And I was like, Chicago in September, the weather.
Good thing we don't live in Chicago.
So I was like, why?
But you know what that also means? And I said this last time. I said, I feel like if she goes on tour again with Renaissance, she started in Europe and ended in America. I was like, I feel like the next time she goes on tour, she's going to start in America and end in Europe.
Well, she could drop it. I'm ready.
Yeah. But also that gives us time, because remember we said next time we saw her, we was going to go, yeah.
Just drop it, Beyonce. Let me know.
Yeah. It's fine.
I'm ready. While we're there, we'll get our dual citizenships. Like,
I mean, that's where Aaron Pierre is, so.
That's Mufasa. Yo, the fact that people can speak in TikTok is hilarious. Just like people used to speak in Vine.
Yes. Yes.
So you can say certain things and people know like what you're saying, like, oh, that's my Shayla.
Hey, Shayla.
And you could just be cracking up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another thing. We almost lost that shit too. Well, we will.
I will say this. It is, I mean, shit, we might as well. It's starting to feel real Germany 1933 Fahrenheit 451 around here.
Damn.
And
go read the book if you haven't.
But here's the thing. So I'm glad you said books.
Wait, it's a banned book.
You got there real fast. I love it when you do that. You got there real fast. I love it when that happens.
They can't.
They can't unless you. And so you're getting to my point. So the way that they pushed a button to get rid of a whole app for my Kindle girlies, if they can do that for an app, they can do that to your books.
That's crazy. Do you know how many fucking books I got on Stuff My Kindle Day?
I got you. We'll rectify that situation. But I really want people to, like, if they did that with an app. So for all the people who like to, all the people who like to like talk shit about people who buy so many books, like, oh my God, you have so many books, you can't even read them all. It's not just about reading them. It's having, whenever I decide to read them, being able to go to my shelf and read the book.
And have it.
And that's not just books, DVDs, movies. Yeah. Like when I moved, one of the movers jokingly said like, dang, I haven't seen a DVD in forever. And I was like, I'm never getting rid of these.
Hello.
I'm not getting rid of them.
I dare you take my Color Purple DVD that I bought at Hollywood Video.
Like I'm not. I think I have Arabian Nights on VHS. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not,
because we never know.
You never know.
Because what's going to tell our story when we're no longer here?
Yep.
Damn. Because what are they going to do? They're going to put an American flag on Mars.
You know what I hope? I hope, since that's what they want to do, I hope Elon is the one who volunteers first. Send his ass first. So if the shit blow up. God,
because I promise you, I be trying to give people grace because I know this is the first time that we living on Earth together, supposedly. Like, but some shit. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, huh? What y'all know? Y'all know some.
I don't know. Although I did just read a book. Well, it's not out yet, but I read this book called The Love Simulation. And like, it's like sciencey, NASA based or whatever. And so the people did like this simulation of like living on Mars or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe they do know.
I would suggest everyone go watch Buzz Lightyear. Watch that movie because it does a really good... It shows a really great picture of what happens when they are going back and forth to space and all the time that Buzz misses. So, yeah, that was a deep one. Shout out to Toy Story.
You know, Pixar don't really miss.
They be knowing.
Yeah.
Some be knowing.
Which, honestly, don't be surprised if Buzz Lightyear and Inside Out end up on the banned movie list. How dare you know about your feelings, and how dare this movie tell y'all what we're doing in space?
That is so weird, but... So wait, isn't there a place... Because I know I'm still going back to the banned book shit. Because wasn't there a point in time where there was an organization that was getting the banned books? Like you could request it from them?
Yeah.
Because it was Florida that started getting...
Yeah. So there are a lot of indie bookstores that will take banned books. And so you can buy them that way. But what I foresee happening, and this is just based on what we've seen in history in other countries and times and things like that, is those indie bookstores won't be able to promote that they sell banned books if they want to stay in business.
Ooh.
So it's going to be on some like Underground Railroad type shit.
So I hope everyone realizes that history does repeat itself. So keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mention indie bookstores, Underground Railroad. In a minute, they about to start burning bras. I ain't mad at it.
Oh, you know what? I'll jump us back because I like skipped over it, play a little hopscotch over it. But when I said it's feeling real 1930 Germany around here, I'm just gonna go ahead and let y'all know. In 1923, March of 1923, Hitler incited an insurrection. And then, you do the crime, you have to go to trial and all things. And he was found not guilty. And was not charged and all of that. And then from the time of 1923 until 1933, he rose to power. And McCain got elected. However, I say elected, I probably should throw allegedly on there because did he really? Who knows? And the first thing that they did was create Article 48, which was basically a pardon to all of the Nazis up until that point, but it also pardoned Nazis from that point also into the future. And from that point on, it took 53 days, just 53 days to establish the foundation that we know to be the Holocaust. So when we talk about history repeating itself, when we talk about history and the atrocious crimes throughout history, and when we zone in on the Holocaust, we always talk about the longest part of it. We always talk about the part when we're already in it. We never really talk about how we got there. We never really talk about the things that led up to that. We never talk about the things that built that.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So when I just went through the story and the quick little timeline between 1923 and the 33 and it could have been 1921, somewhere around there, whatever, what's give or take 2 years. If it felt like, wait, she's talking about Hitler, but it feels like she is talking about what happened
in 2021.
In 2021, on January 6th, God, that seems very close to, yeah. Yeah.
Shit, let me get my kitty ready.
Yeah. So,
dear kitty. Damn.
So even to your point about like documenting our history and like saving books and like telling your story, I've always found it a bit morbid to have children read the Diary of Anne Frank.
It is, because that girl died.
Well, not just because she died, but you're having children relive trauma of somebody else. And you're glorifying
vicarious trauma, living it through someone else's eyes.
You're like, and you're like the Diary of Anne Frank has been glorified in this like, oh, this girl wrote in her diary every day during the Holocaust. But what the fuck is the Holocaust? How did we get here?
She also lived in a fucking attic. And sometimes people didn't come up because they died.
Yeah, like I don't know.
That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah. So they didn't already sign the goddamn executive order to get rid of the 14th Amendment.
So basically, y'all, if you haven't been listening, obviously we're recapping everything that has gone on in the world since we last met. Because now we've gotten to the point where we've taken time, we've recuperated, we prayed, we've dealt with our stuff, we're at peace, and now the shit is just asinine and laughable at this point.
Yeah, and appropriately titled, because what the fuck was that?
Fuck. It really was. Like when you saw me put the title, you're like, I just read the first episode title. Like, girl.
I literally hollered out loud. Like, and what's crazy about it is you put the outlines together months ago or weeks ago. And literally not every week, every day since you put the outline together, there has been a moment that made me say, what the fuck is that?
Fuck. Yes. Because really, I don't know. Because what are we doing? You have not little girls, you have young adult women that have to stand in front of a congregation at church to apologize for being pregnant at the big old age of 21 in a black church in 2025, saying she can't have a baby shower, but where's the nigga? Because she didn't get pregnant by herself. You can have that happening. We have Donald Trump and Elon Musk sharing each other's girdles. Like, it's so much going on.
Let's ask, since you brought up church and pregnancy, did you see Kiki done got in trouble?
I did see that, but I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too.
I laughed. She said the whole family has been in my guts.
Her guts.
Baby.
It ain't like she's talking about some random man on the street. She's talking about her husband.
I thought that was so funny. Because that's true when you think about it. We are one. The song was perfect. Mm-hmm. You got an adult woman who's married. The married bed is undefilable, meaning she can do whatever the fuck she wants in that bedroom with her husband. And the fact that she birthed a child. Right.
Since we want to be Bible thumping, let's go ahead and talk about what
people be fucking. They be fucking. I sometimes go to Fellowship Chicago online, and the pastor, after the young lady had to stand in front of the congregation and apologize because they condemned the sin of sex, and they wanted her to apologize for having sex, right? So the pastor at Fellowship Chicago, he said, "I'm sorry, let me get in front. I apologize. I've had sex. Now, everybody that's ever had sex in here, I want you to apologize because we all ain't been saved." And I said, ain't that something? This shit ain't new.
Right. Like, how do you think you got here?
Sex, fucking. Yeah. It's been a whole bunch of what the fucks. Legit what the fucks. The fact that I can't even think of the fucking musical that beat out Wicked at the Golden Globes.
The one with Zoe Saldana?
Yes, about transgender stuff, and they singing offbeat. Yeah. What the fuck?
It's offbeat. I didn't watch it.
No one saw it.
Okay, well, clearly somebody did because they won.
Which I don't know. Like, the songs didn't even make sense.
We've already talked about award seasons. The Grammys are on the way. So
Grammys are on the way. Beyonce's on her way.
Yeah. At this point, wait, when are the Grammys?
Ooh, they're in February. They're right after. No, they're right before the Super Bowl, right?
Grammys.
Are they on the 9th?
Grammys 2025, February 2nd.
I'm with it.
February 2nd.
Because I need some joy in my life.
When is the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl's the week after, like the 9th.
Yeah. Okay, so February 2nd is a Sunday. That's in 2 weeks? That's an appropriate time to announce a tour.
I think so.
That's also more than enough time to film a whole new commercial.
That's true.
If we're talking about Beyonce, like, she can come up with an idea, have it executed. Yeah.
The fucking LA fires. It's been a lot of what the fucks.
And don't forget that the whole reason for the LA fires, it's because they have a Black woman fire chief.
Y'all gotta let this shit go. There are, unfortunately, white people, hear me when I say this and hear me clear. Unfortunately, there are African Americans that are well equipped, well educated, that are better at the job than you or your little nephew that you think should have the job, that doesn't have the experience. Just get over it.
Listen.
Bend the knee.
Not bend the knee. We love Jasmine Crockett over here. She be dropping all the gems. But I think not best, but one of the best things that I have heard her say was, y'all weren't complaining, or y'all don't complain about the White House and how it was built.
Ain't that some shit?
I genuinely, like, I'm actually going to read the whole quote to you guys because it's that good. She said, last time I checked, y'all didn't say there was anything wrong with the White House. And I can promise you, it was my ancestors who built the White House. If we are good enough to build this country and good enough to die overseas, then we are good enough to serve in other positions too. And to take it a step further, we said the White House, but I don't know, maybe maybe y'all listeners, I don't know, have y'all ever heard them complain about the Washington Monument and that damn reflection pool? Have you ever heard them complain about the Lincoln Memorial?
No.
Okay.
Well, I complained that one time when Monica decided to slide down it and run into my bag.
Your blood is in the stones. Cause
I was hella mad.
What's Thomas Jefferson Monte? Have you heard anybody complain about that? Have you heard anybody complain about any governor's house in the South? Have you heard anybody?
No.
Capitol buildings? Have you heard anybody complain about those? When all of those statues were up of, Confederate whatever, did you hear anybody complain about those? Okay. I'm just checking.
That's crazy.
Wow. I'm just curious, especially on the whole, like cities that have their Capitol buildings are their original buildings, and they've just done a lot to just restore the original buildings, or states who the governor's house is the same governor's house and has been the same governor's house. They just restore the building every couple of years. I'm just curious. Have we ever said like the foundation is poor? We need to actually move this house. No, you haven't, because you keep restoring the same building.
Because the bones are good.
I'm also curious, when y'all go have your weddings on plantations, are y'all complaining about how big Massa's house is? No? This is the perfect venue for your country wedding? This is the perfect place for your outdoor, but you're not complaining about that? Okay. Just checking.
He said, when y'all have y'all plantation weddings.
I just want to know. I just want to be clear. What are we complaining about? Because if we're good enough to build that stuff and you're not complaining about that, don't say nothing when we send our kids to engineering school so they can continue to build the shit that you're not and have not complained about.
That's true. My God, today.
I'm just, y'all know me. I like a little read a little book here and there, like a little history here. And I'm just checking.
She was like, and that was a great clapback.
And when she said it, the person she said it to, what else can you say? You're gonna be on national TV and be like, actually, I think the White House is just, subpar. Not with the way y'all be killing over each other and stabbing each other in the back to get the person that you want in there. It can't be too bad.
I don't know why.
So
that raggedy motherfucker.
Obviously when I was a kid, but in my adult life, I've never had any desire to see the White House, which is crazy because my mindset should be different of that. I should be like my ancestors or ancestors of someone who I may be close to, like built this, like their blood is in these walls. I should want to, and I have no desire. I also, and I just told my mama this, and when I realized it blew my fucking mind. I called myself an American for the first time last week.
Oh.
Like not acknowledge the fact, I was typing it out, but yeah, American. Think about it. Here's the thing. Whenever you check a box for your race, majority of the time it says Black. Every now and then it will say African American.
Yeah.
When I refer to myself, I say I'm Black. I don't think there had ever been a time traveling out of the country where I was like, oh, I'm an American. I honestly don't even outside of speaking, have I ever been addressed as an American. It's been acknowledged that I'm from America, if that makes any sense. Like that I live there. but I've never been called an American outside of the country either. Because the reality is, until I open my mouth, you don't know what kind of Black I am. Black is universal.
That's true.
Black is global. Until I open my mouth, you don't know what kind of Black I am. And we know how much I love a good English accent. So that's the reality of it, right?
She said, you know, I like to fuck with people, so I could be like, hello.
Yeah.
But that's real, though.
Yeah. And the only reason how I ended up typing it was this creator that I follow on TikTok. She's a UK creator, a book talk creator. And I commented on her video, and I was like, hey, American here. Do you have any other platforms I want to keep following you? And I hit send. And after I hit send, I was like, oh shit, that was the first time I've ever called myself an American.
That's crazy.
Now I'm pretty sure all y'all sitting here thinking like, shit, have I ever called myself an American?
No, haven't.
No. Most of you probably haven't. Especially if you're not in the military or like have a military husband and have had to be stationed overseas. 9 times out of 10, you've never called, as a Black person, you've never called yourself an American. Nope.
And even like thinking, like traveling globally, there is a line where it says Americans that you have to go through to get into certain countries, but never referencing myself as American.
It's like, oh, this is just, I know
I'd
this
be like,
is,
well,
my passport matches that. Jeez. Yeah, my passport matches that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, wow, I've never... And I mean, granted, this is also coming from the person who stopped saying the Pledge of Allegiance in like the 5th grade. So once I figured out the year that it was written, I was like, oh, liberty and justice for all. That wasn't happening when this was written. Also, y'all furnace is on top of this counter. Paris Marie, get...
That was perfect. Paris Marie gets, baby, did she get down?
Real fast.
Do you whoop her?
Yes, her pow pows is a water bottle.
Oh,
if I like so similarly to like when we was kids and your mama would grab the belt and she would just lay it across her lap and it would make you get your shit together. Same thing, just water bottles.
And you spray it in her face?
On her period, she hates being wet.
Fascinating, because you know why? Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. All cats are the same.
Well, no, there are some cats who like to swim, which is so odd to me. But yeah, no, she hates me, which is funny because once it starts to warm up, she's going to start to shed her coat a little bit. And so usually I'll get like a baby wipe and I'll wipe her down to like kind of get some of the excess hair off of her. And it's not even like, baby wipes ain't like juicy wet. They're like, damn. Yeah. Oh my God. She hates it. She just doesn't. She hates, even if like, when you were little or even if you like mess with babies and toddlers and like you wash your hands and then you like sprinkle the water in their face, she will run for the hills. She hates water.
I love that. I love that for her. Yeah. Saying no, mommy. What else did we miss while we were gone?
Oh, we came into a whole new year.
Oh, I forgot we did. Because it's been a freaking blur.
Yeah.
2014 was 2014. 2024 skipped right on into 2025.
Yeah. We're only 22 days into the new year and we've already had wildfires. We've had, like you said, the whole church thing, this whole Donald Trump thing. I, for multiple reasons, but just from the journalist portion of my life, I am still stuck on the Hail Hitler sign that we just got. And
that was weird.
Not just because like he did it, right? The journalist part in me, I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around because I was watching it live. I didn't see it like a replay on social media or on TikTok or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I was watching it live. I don't know what the fuck told me to watch it live, why I did that to myself, but I fucking did. So watching it live and then while simultaneously like having my phone next to me and watching how quickly news put out like tweets and threads and posts or whatever and was saying, oh, that's not what you saw. Like how fast the propaganda I'm still having a hard time wrapping my brain around it.
But we also knew when TikTok went down for those 12 hours, right? That morning it was like, you can't look this up.
Yeah.
It's not going to show for you.
Which not only that though, so going back to the example that I gave y'all about is feeling real 1930s Germany. That's how the whole radio thing started. Radios ended up getting banned, and the only radio that you could have the only station it could tune to was I don't know, I can't think of the station, but it was the specific station that fed them the propaganda that taught them that Jewish people were bad.
Oh, wow.
So there's this
also, it's a lot because they didn't get rid of, but now the WHO and the FDA, they can't release certain information anymore to the public. Like when numbers go up for the bird flu. I was like, wait, what?
Meanwhile, Trump just said, what did I just read to you about goddamn communicable diseases?
Oh, how he's sending Border Patrol?
Yeah. So now, like he's closing asylum. People can't seek asylum in America if they're coming from a country with a communicable disease. And before we got on the air, the first thing I said to VA was, have you ever read something that was so dumb it made you like check your own source, like to make sure you know what you know? That's how I felt about this. Because don't all countries, isn't the influenza is a fucking communicable disease.
Everybody
we have communicable. So can we not go to other countries? Like, we've been on, this is now our third season, right? I have been saying this for 3 years at this point. What the fuck is America? Like, you want to keep playing these petty games. What the fuck is America going to do when these other countries start saying, well, fuck it. If that's how you want to, you don't want to share your ball in ball, you taking your ball and you're going home. You don't want to play nice in the sandbox. What is America going to do when the other countries start doing it too?
Hello, because you have power is controlled in Michigan. Power is controlled by Canada.
Not just Michigan. Bitch, fucking Washington. Washington State, Oregon, North Dakota.
They about to lose a whole bunch of shit.
Fucking, I think somebody said Maine. They share like water, like they use water for electricity in fucking Maine and Vermont.
Look, shit, it even goes down. And the Acadians went mad. Was bucking, talking about, we're so glad the Americans are gone. Like, we might need to seek asylum. We're refugees.
Not even, well, I don't know, because obviously their government is different. I don't know if she's like a prime minister or whatever, but did you see that video where
didn't she step down?
In Canada?
Someone stepped down.
Maybe, but where she was talking about basically like Canada's not for sale. However, we can buy y'all. Like, basically, like, if she said if Oregon, Washington, and California wanted to be absorbed by Canada, she's like, we welcome you with open arms. She said Oregon, Washington, California, Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire.
What?
That's it. Clearly,
that's a whole group of states.
I said, I know I love my history. Don't get me wrong, but clearly I need to go take an economics class and some in electricity classes, see what the fuck is going on for her to say so comfortably loud with her chest, hey, we could take them.
We'll welcome you.
And she even said, she was like, we're already in partnership with them on electricity and goods and trades. I said, well, what the fuck?
This makes me, now I understand why Hillary Clinton chuckled at the inauguration. I feel the chuckle.
Oh, with the let's change the Gulf of Mexico name?
Yes. She really tried to hold it.
Because what a fucking joke.
What the fuck is going on? Where do we live? I love it. I don't, but this is entertaining. Clock it. Because why?
Uh-huh.
Why is this even a fucking thing?
And that's the thing I'm saying, like, so, you know, they talk about how these are businessmen and they done made all these billions and billions of dollars, but we also know statistically, well, then lay your ass out on the bed then.
Paris is having a good time.
But like from a statistics place, there's all these countries who are led by women, who were countries that were previously ran by men, and like now like their whole parliaments and all that have converted over to where like slowly but surely it's all transitioned over into women running the country. So and they like their economy turned like 180, but for the better. Like everything has like benefited from the better in women running these countries, and I'm like, oh my god,
I really want to talk to someone that didn't vote for Kamala and ask why.
Like, I can. We'll have that conversation over here.
Okay, because I just have like, why?
This person, and the reason why I say that is because it has a lot to do with my whole like target demographic. And when I really get into detail about that, because obviously you guys know, like, that's my everyday job. So it's like my research, like me doing research on things like that is like, that's my thing. Like, that's my tea. Like, I do it all day. But when I start to really break it down, usually there's something in the breakdown that even if they aren't somebody who voted for Trump, there's usually something in the target demographic where it makes somebody like, oh shit, that's me.
Yeah. Damn. I'm just, but why? Why did we have to do this? And why are y'all calling this man daddy?
The only person I'm trying to call daddy is Aaron Pierre.
Because that's Mufasa. Okay. That we can't agree on. Okay. That's a good looking man.
That's a man.
Fuck it. We changed the episode name to Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. Because what? And the pure joy we get from saying that, again, you can't steal my joy.
No. I ended up watching, since we're talking about him, me and Sierra came over here like last week before last, so I could finally give her freaking birthday gift. And I know we watched Rebel Ridge, and there's a scene in Rebel Ridge where it's like, it's one of those scenes where like you have one person who's like in the foreground, and then, or two people who are in the foreground, and then someone who's like in the back. Well, Aaron is the one he was in the back, but he was standing in this doorway.
Still fine.
No, in the shadows. You couldn't even see his face, standing in the doorway. And I say to Sierra, I go, first I just say he's tall. And then I go, he has to be 6'3". And she was like, what? I was like, I'm like, he has to be 6'3". So then I asked Siri, like, hey Siri, how tall is da-da-da-da-da? It's like, Aaron Pierre is 6'3". She's like, how did you clock that? When you watch, and even if you haven't seen Rebel Ridge, the scene that I'm talking about is so specific, you will be able to, if you watch it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He's coming through the door, and the space between his head and the top of the door frame is very small. But it's a very old house. And, you know, the old house has got them big old doorways. And I said, yeah, that's a man.
That movie made me mad.
What, Rebel Ridge? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Pissed me the fuck. But again, beautiful man.
I can also admit that part of the reason why I watched Rebel Ridge was, did you see when him and, oh no, what's his co-star's name? Kelvin. Him and Kelvin it's on Kelvin's, well, all of his social, but I saw it on TikTok. When they did the Suspect Challenge. Did you see that video?
No, where they were running.
So they do a Suspect Challenge, and then, you know, they go back and forth. Suspect, suspect, blah, blah. So the first one for Aaron was suspect looks like Scar but wants to be the main character. And then the other one, or someone, they keep going back or whatever, but the other one that like made me be like, was suspect made the internet go crazy with the what was the word he used? With one syllable. That's what it was. Suspect made the internet go crazy with one syllable. And there's this scene in Rebel Ridge where he's on the phone and all he says is nah. But the way this man said nah.
He meant it. Ooh, good times.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't watch Rebel Ridge for nothing else, maybe go in for the nah.
Yeah, it's a good story.
It's a good growl. Oh,
it'll make you mad, but it's a good story.
I mean, will it make you mad or will it just confirm what we already know?
True.
Okay.
Very true.
Yeah.
Jesus.
At this point, like,
Jesus Christ.
I give it like 2 years before I'm like, bye, good day, mate. Oh, I could work on my Australian. I've never done Australian. That's probably
before you dip out.
Yeah.
Gotta see what's gonna happen. But I think something's
maybe I should start eating beans and toast now.
That sounds horrible.
You don't look on your face.
That doesn't sound fun. But
you know what else I was thinking? I was like, because their food is different. Their version of the FDA cares more about them than ours does.
Yeah.
But what made me think like, oh shit, their seasonings are gonna be different.
They are. Oh my God, they are. You gonna have to pack your own seasoning.
Bitch, I found a whole box of seasonings that I ain't even opened yet.
See?
No, like not the box I haven't opened. The seasonings. Seals ain't broke. See? I'm black as hell.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You might have to pack them and take them with you.
Oh yes, they're definitely that. If I don't take it, I'll
survive.
Yeah. My closet, my kid, and my seasonings, and my technology. Yeah. Actually, I couldn't even take my technology because all the plugs are different.
Because you would need adapters.
Yeah. Well, my MacBook, I would just have to buy a new one. But everything else, just sell it all. It's fine.
Start fresh. Start anew. Yeah. A whole new world. Basically. Mm-hmm. Because that's what we're getting. A whole new world. And we're all like sitting there just waiting for the shit to happen. Yeah. Like my poor neighbor thinks they're being deported tomorrow. I'm like, who told you that?
Well, at least if that's the case, honestly, we no, it's not happening tomorrow. But shout out to your neighbor for fully understanding the 14th Amendment.
Yeah. I was like, it's not happening tomorrow.
And you know what? Let's just go ahead, and just in case we have some people here who don't know, or you're new here, this is the first time you didn't listen to the episode, you don't realize these are some welcome, yes. But also although we kikiing and joking and making jokes, we're some educated Black women. So I'm gonna go ahead and just break down the 14th Amendment for y'all because a lot of y'all seem to think that there's fine print to the 14th Amendment, and there is not. There's actually no fine print to the Constitution at all, which is why we have to make amendments to change parts that were already there. So let's start.
Remember how we voted, guys, and we read the weird questions?
Yeah, remember? That was one of our last episodes before the end of the year. So the 14th Amendment is in regards to birthright citizenship. Now, before I get into what they are trying to make you think, let's get into the history of this. The 14th Amendment came into play once the Civil War had happened and, they lost the right to own us as property and, had already gotten away with the 3/4 of a person, whatever shit. Yep. That fucked up slaves.
We became whole.
That fucked up the whole electoral college, that whole thing, right? So once that had happened, they decided we don't need the niggeresses anymore and we don't need the Negroes no more. We're going to ship them back to Africa. By this point, a couple of hundred of years had passed, which means that generations of Black people had already been born here. Now, fun fact, the actual transatlantic slave trade did stop at some point. And if you're wondering why, if the transatlantic slave trade stopped at some point, then how did slavery continue? Breeding.
We kept fucking, or they kept making us fuck.
I was going to say, yeah. They forced us.
They forced breeding because they needed workers.
Yeah, they needed, yep. all of that. So
The
that's
people
how
that
we're
built the White
born.
House.
Yeah, that's how when people say I was born here and my grandma was born here and my grandma and my great, that's how, because of breeding. So then they were like, okay, well, we don't need them here anymore. We're going to ship them back to Africa. And as VA said, how? Because now all this time has passed. Ship me back to Africa where? You don't even know where you took me from.
Fucking puppy.
You don't know where you took me from to drop me off. So through that is where the
Book of Negroes was only in the UK.
That too. Through that, we got the 14th Amendment, basically stating that any person who is born here in the United States is a citizen. Additionally, that is something that happens in every other fucking country.
Hello.
You are a natural born citizen in said country. The only, and I don't know if this is even the case, I think the only exception is if you are military and you're born on a military base. If you're U.S. and you're born on a U.S. military base, then you are a U.S. citizen. But let's just say you are U.S. and yes, you have been stationed there, but you guys decide to live somewhere off base, and your mama have you in a hospital somewhere off base. You are a citizen of that country. Perfect example. The model Jasmine Sanders. She is German. Not because she ain't black, but because her mama had her in a hospital that was not on a U.S. military base.
You want to know the cold part about that? One of the singers, Sherelle, she had her daughter, Sherelle's an old school singer. She had her daughter overseas in another country. She was on a cruise ship. And
she was born in international waters.
She was on international waters, but they were docked and they rushed her to the closest hospital. And her daughter became a citizen of that country. And because the daughter was born prematurely, they had to stay for a certain amount of time. And she had to do a whole bunch of stuff to get her and her daughter back to the States. But I was like, damn. I saw that on Unsung.
Wow.
I said, isn't that cool?
Yeah. So that being said, if you are born in this country, you are a citizen. Now, the fine print that people love to bring up. Some people are under the belief that this whole birthright citizenship only applies if your mom and dad weren't born here, then it applies to you. No. I'm going to repeat myself. There is no fine print to the Constitution. So, him signing, let me also say this. Some of y'all are confused about what an executive order means. I know now all of a sudden y'all want to pull out your Schoolhouse Rock and y'all want to do the I'm just a bill and you got to go to Senate and veto and Congress. No, baby. That's not what happens with an executive order. Once he signs and slides, the slide, that's the stamp. That's it. Ain't no Congress. Ain't no House of Representatives. Ain't no Senate. Nobody, there's no checks and balances. And that is the problem. That is what we were saying to y'all before. This man is being able to do whatever the fuck he wants to do unchecked.
And he don't care. And he don't understand half the shit that he's talking about.
At all. So for those of you who are like, oh, well, I'm good. I was born here. My mama was born here. My grandma was. No, you're not. Because there's no fine print to the Constitution.
You also have to think the executive orders that he's signing on at some point, some reason, because he believes that they are harmful. So you have to read the orders and realize why he's changing these policies because he thinks the policies are harmful. Mm-hmm. Some of that shit don't make sense. Reducing the Inflation Reduction Act is harmful for older people to get a reduction in their diabetes medication, prescription drugs. So because of that, he feels it's harmful. So that's why he doesn't want them to get reduced prescription medication bills. Because why? He's in cahoots.
I was going to say, because 9 times out of 10, it's probably hurting the pockets of one of his buddies.
It is. That's why he didn't want to have the inauguration outside. Because you want to know why? Luigi. And also, he didn't want the bad press with the low numbers.
Well, given that, did you see that pile of purses?
That was crazy. I was very disheartened. I was like, I would have stole everything.
I'm really surprised people didn't.
Somebody said, someone's car keys were here, and I found her her name from her college ID, I wouldn't even look that far. Throw all this shit away. That's what I said. Wrap it up. Clean the streets.
This is a public nuisance. This is a disturbing of the peace.
They couldn't take any of their belongings, and some of those bags were clear. Heat warmers, hand warmers, whatever.
This what y'all asked for.
People's like, what do you mean we can't see him? He ain't doing it on the line because he's afraid to get shot.
But not only that, it's crazy to me how y'all can keep up with the news and the TikTok and the Instagram and all that when you're being fed propaganda. But y'all couldn't keep up with the news when he said he wasn't doing it.
Correct.
Outside. Because that information was known well before
the inauguration.
You had more than enough time to get your credit from Southwest and not fly your ass out there.
Just flooding the streets in your MAGA gear.
Yeah. So
making no sense.
In regards to the 14th Amendment, depending on how far back they decide to go, and I just gave this example to somebody today, and I also had this conversation with my mom. Obviously, I was born here. My mother was born here. We're going to go from my mother. We're going to go with my grandfather's side for a very specific reason. And then we'll switch over to my grandmother. My mother's father, my grandfather, was born here. His mother was born here. His mother was born to a slave. Or her mother, I'm sorry, was born to a slave. What I'm saying to you is my great-grandmother, who I not just met one or two times, had a relationship with, talked to on the phone. She would ask me about school, was around up until I was in high school. I think my grandma Dorothy passed and I was in the 10th grade. Her mother was a slave. So how far back are we going to go before you're like, okay, well, her mother's mother and her mother's mother and their mother's mother. Oh, there's the one from Africa. So let's get rid of this whole line. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That's exhausting a lot of resources. That's
number one. But how far back are you going to go for you to be like, oh, here's the cutoff for where this family is no longer now. They're not doing that. And I'm saying it for as a black person because I'm black and I don't know nobody else's experience, but he's already made it very clear of who is first on his list, and it's Latino people. So
that's crazy.
The way y'all hate immigrants, and I think I said this on the show, up until this election, I did not realize how much immigrants, people who like Latin people who immigrate from Mexico to the United States once they become legal, I didn't realize how much they not only dislike people who are coming over, but like how much they make it harder for them to come over. It's like, no, I already got here. I got mine. You can't come here. I did not realize that until
it's crazy. They really think they're white.
Blew my fucking head back. Like, which made the whole black jobs thing make even more sense. Like, he expected us to hate Mexican people the way they hate their own. And
we can't. Because, to be honest, they're doing the work that other people are unable to do.
Not only that, but like, truth be told, and this isn't to be shady, it's just the fucking truth. They're doing the work that y'all had to whip us to do.
That's true. They willingly do it. And you're paying them less than what you should be paying them.
And they still doing it willingly. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they ship all them up out of here and they want to take it back to that. You're going to have to whip me to do it.
Yeah, I ain't doing that shit. I don't want that black job.
You're going to have to whip me to do it.
Shoot, I've been seeing them crazy little reels. Why the slave had to whistle while she worked so master knew she wasn't eating the food. I can't whistle because I'm eating the food, motherfucker.
You know, I said this when I was one of my homeboy Derek. Shout out to you, Derek, if you're currently listening to this and continue to go through law school. Shout out to you if you have time to listen to this. But one time he was on live, he was playing The Walking Dead. And I said offhandedly, like, could you imagine, for me specifically, the zombie apocalypse happens right now?
Yeah.
With my braces. What would I would just have braces for the rest of my life. How would I get my braces off? What orthodontist am I going to see?
That's crazy.
So saying that to say, fucking slavery. Once, if that happens, they're not going to be like, oh, this slave has braces. Let's take care of her teeth. No, I would just die with these same braces on my mouth.
And it's okay. You can do that.
Yeah, but still.
I just have so many questions. Like, people saying the Miami airport looked crazy the other day.
Oh, well, people trying to get the fuck up out of here?
Mm-hmm. A lot of DACA dreamers have gotten advanced parole so they can go visit their countries if they're going to stay in the United States. And, you know, they haven't been back home in 20-something years if they're a DACA dreamer. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Well, something just popped up that says Trump administration orders health agencies to pause all external communications.
Yeah, I told you, the WHO and the FDA.
Okay.
And I was like, why? So basically, we about to get something. A disease is about to pop up, and he gonna tell us to drink bleach. And there are going to be some people that do.
Great.
So that's going to add to the...
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Well, I saw a post today that was, connecting him, of course, to Hitler. And they gave the death toll to how many people died basically during Hitler's reign. And then, of course, they, did the compare contrast to DJT. And I think for Hitler, it was like 140 million. I don't know. I'm not giving an exact number, but in regards to DJT and COVID, he's already at 440 something thousand people who died under his.
That's crazy. Oh, we can't forget about the officers during the insurrection that committed suicide. We can't forget about the officers during the insurrection that lost eyeballs, fingers, shit like that are forever going to be traumatized. But guess what he did? He let them motherfuckers go.
Yeah, honestly, it not that I was ever proud to be an American, obviously, because I just said that I call myself American for the first time in 36 years. I've never been proud to be an American. I've always been proud to be Black. That we're never going to get that confused because those things are not synonymous for me. However, I'm at a point now where I was never proud to be an American, but now I'm embarrassed. They
are laughing at us.
Yeah. We really
y'all fucked up again.
Like a joke. Then you got the whole, you talked about this already, but the whole revoking the 1965 Civil Rights Act, so now when you talk about your boss is racist and they're saying racist things to you and you want to go to HR, baby, HR can't do anything.
You can't. Good luck. You have a man that couldn't wait to get into the office to fire Keisha Bottoms from that presidential policy committee.
And she wasn't even...
And tweeted it. You're fired. She was like, you're late.
Maybe I resigned 2 weeks ago. My office been cleaned out. I'm on the beach wiggling my fucking toes. Some goddamn sand.
I will say, even though, politics are politics, I've never agreed with any politician full-heartedly, been gung-ho about anybody's policy, but however, I have adjusted. I will say that I'm glad that President Biden served us how he served us. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. He did the best he could with what he had. I'm grateful. I hope that he spends some time with his family. I hope he has some good vacations, and I hope he lives to be 125, because I kept saying my nigga was old. But it's kind of like, damn. And even for our current president to say some shit like, it's funny how Biden pardoned all his family, but didn't pardon himself. Do it. Go after him for something. And he don't give a fuck. So I'm going to miss Biden and Harris, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to understand what COVID was, giving us the knowledge and the information right in the gate when you came into office, letting us know about the different vaccines that were available, letting our states keep us informed. Even though we shut down here in Vegas, Nevada, Thank you for giving folks the option and it ushering us back into the workforce and not forcing us.
Yeah.
To go right back to the office where people be breathing on you.
Yeah. I don't.
Just fuck.
There's a part of me that, like, I won't even say secretly, it's not secret at all, but there's a part of me that is hoping that she delivers on her statement and reminder that she's a prosecutor first. There's just something. I don't, maybe it's, honestly, I can't even say maybe because I never was like, oh, TikTok City Man. Like, people's like, you're delusional. Okay, I guess I'll just be fucking delusional. And then look what happened. Like, that same energy, ember of hope, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that I had around. Like, I posted a video before the TikTok ban, quote unquote. At the end of my video, I say, see y'all on live on Tuesday. I was like, we going live on Tuesday. And what the fuck did I do yesterday? I was on live on Tuesday. Yeah, so like,
and that's real because we knew what was up. The whole, President Trump is working on something. Da, da, da. He did all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Call it the faith of a mustard seed, whatever you want to do. There's something that, like, it's like a thread running through me, a current, I don't know, but that is just hoping that she delivers on her statement and her reminder that she's a prosecutor first. Because I'm still so going back to the news and propaganda and people making us, or not making us, because they ain't making me do shit, but attempting to get us to believe that we didn't see what we saw, or didn't hear what we hear. For example, the way that they are now changing what he said about the computers and rigging the election to, he was talking about Biden and what happened in 2020 and da 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 da. We weren't worried about.
You said it live.
Not just you said it live, but we weren't worried about which way Philadelphia was going to flip in 2020. That wasn't an issue that we were worried about in 2020. That was an issue that we were worried about 2 months ago. So how does that apply to 2020? Come on, let's use some critical thinking skills quickly. Elon didn't have his hand in the 2020 election. Elon didn't have his hand in this last election. So when we're talking about Elon playing with the computers and messing with the computers, he didn't have his hand in those elections. So when he's saying we rigged this election, we're not talking about Biden. We're not talking about what happened in the past elections. We are talking about, and this ain't conspiracy. This is the thing that had me breaking down into tears. The thing that had us not on having episodes for the last couple of.
Yeah.
Like, and truth be told, the shit that we talk about, bitch, who knows how long we can have this podcast?
They about to shut us down. But remember, Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Laugh more than y'all start thinking, okay?
Please. Yeah, I don't know, I'm very, like you said, I am grateful for President Biden and Vice President Harris. Even when, people have been nasty to her, I'm still rolling my eyes at the damn man who didn't want to shake her hand. So you're not even anybody important. You're here to hold the Bible.
Well, hopefully you know that the second gentleman did confront him and had a conversation.
As he fucking should. Protecting his black queen. Period.
Yeah, they did have a conversation, and he did apologize. But he didn't apologize to Kamala because she wasn't over there. But he was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because it's easier to apologize to someone who looks like you.
Yeah, exactly. But
he probably still walked away. He probably still walked away and called him a nigger lover. I'm wrong?
No, probably not. Definitely not. Not in this world that we live in.
And I'm going to be honest with y'all, and this is numbers across the board. I'm still not forgiving y'all for not electing Bernie Sanders. We wouldn't be here. Fucking just elected Bernie Sanders. Shit.
Because we felt the burn. It's crazy. The world is a crazy place, basically. And I can't believe we live here.
Yeah, can't believe we live here. Yeah, and I think I said this not the last election, maybe before. I don't know. But You know it's bad when George Bush is like, oh no.
Yeah.
And they are the most gun-totingest, tobacco chewing, oil rig having.
George Bush he was looking for his woman, like, where's Michelle? I ain't seen her at Carter's funeral. She ain't been here. Where's she at, Obama?
This supposed to be my buddy. We supposed to sit next to each other. Michelle said, I don't have any. She asked, do I have an obligation to be there? No, I'm not going. And I don't fucking blame her.
It's like the man walked in and y'all booing him. What are y'all doing? Just weird.
Honestly, at this point, once I like watched it happen in real time, where people didn't realize that the Affordable Care Act was in fact Obamacare, or
that's
that
wild.
Obamacare was the Affordable Care Act, whichever way you want to drive down the fucking street in whichever direction. That did it for me. Everything else from that point on was like, oh, of course.
So I can't wait to see all y'all sick motherfuckers. I can't get health care.
Listen, if I can't say, I mean, there's a lot of things that I can say, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, thank you, universe, all of that for. But the one that's at the top of my list right now is these good ass benefits with my big girl job, because in a minute, baby, y'all not gonna have SNAP or Medicaid or Medicare. So good luck.
Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa.
Hey. Did you see the little boy in Africa who did it and he posted it?
He had the most beautifulest smile. He was so he was with it. Yeah, you better walk. Mm-hmm. You better walk.
Yeah,
just ghetto here.
Additionally, like I'm not serious, but also like if there's anyone out there who wants to join in a lavender marriage, I'm not opposed to it.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't want kids anyway, so it's fine.
So if you want to be in a lavender marriage, that would be great.
Yeah, you just have to care for Paris, and it's great. And by care for her, I just mean like, just be nice to her. I'll feed her. It's fine.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Yeah, we can have
cocktails.
Yeah,
I keep you safe. You keep me safe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll paint each other's nails.
Yeah, it'll be
maybe
fun.
Do skincare together.
Absolutely. Because something that I think a lot of I know a lot of people forget when it comes to gay men is that that's still a man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in the words of Dustin Ross, they will still beat your ass. He's a boy, Damon. Yeah. So if anyone ever want, it's considering
read books, eat popcorn, watch movies together, that'd be fun.
However, if you live in a red state, you're going to have to move here.
We're a red state.
We're a red state this time. Usually we're a swing state, so
we are.
Yeah.
Bitch, we turned red, and I was like flabbergasted.
I told you. I'm pretty sure I said this on. I know I said it to you, but I'm pretty sure I said it on air that the night after the election, like I woke up in the middle of the night and I just started crying.
Mm-hmm. Just the heaviness. Just
the same level of heaviness. Maybe not as intense, but I felt a reminder of that on Monday.
Mm-hmm. It was just heavy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, do things to make fun stuff. So I did go to the movies. I did, just
yeah.
Beyonce.
Read Beyonce, listen to music. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm still unpacking and organizing, so I was able to like turn on audiobooks and just let it play in the house. But yeah, the heaviness. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's going to completely go away because we're not ignorant.
I always feel like gas. They'll just hover over us like Eeyore.
Yeah, like when you hear the saying like cursed with knowledge, but this is one of those situations where we are truly cursed with knowledge because we know. And like my favorite quote, I've said it multiple times on this show and I'm going to keep saying it. Trevor Noah said it best. Black women do not have the luxury to fuck around and find out. So that is why we keep calling ourselves the 92%. That's why we keep telling y'all we're not doing shit. We know We've seen it. We are on the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to access, care, rights, support, all of that. Meanwhile, we're on the bottom of the totem pole for y'all to reach down, but we're on the bottom of the totem pole and we're always reaching up. We're always pushing up and we're done. So the level of heaviness, like, it unfortunately isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon unless a huge change happens, but it's also going to stay because we know.
Yeah. I got to get me a gun and a horse. That's how I feel.
I need to buy a gun.
Like a gun and a horse.
Yeah. What Beyonce say? They entered the country with derringers.
I got to. I'm going to get it done. We're going to get it done, guys.
Dang, that means I need to shorten my nails. I can't hold a gun the way that I need to with my nails long. Which, me saying that should probably clue into a couple of people. Yes, I already know how to shoot a gun. And if I didn't, my ex-military infantry brother would make sure that I did at this fucking point.
Because what? Man, this was fun. Missed y'all. Glad to be back.
Now y'all know.
We'll be here.
Yeah, now y'all know why we needed to get the fuck up out of here. Which honestly shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, because if you've been keeping up with the show, you probably knew at some point, like, it's getting weird around here. The girls are probably going to go, or
we're going to take a break. Yeah. We were always going to take a break for the holidays.
We always do that, but it just came a lot faster than normal.
Yeah, it was like fast. Turkey.
Side note, I guess kind of unrelated, but I got an Ultra Human ring. And everyone's like, oh, Oura ring. And that's cute. But I just don't see myself making a large purchase and then having to continue to pay a subscription. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because usually, like, February, we talk about, like, matters of the heart because it's Heart Health Month and things like that. My Ultra Human ring, shortly after I got it, like when it was still calibrating, I won't say saved my life, but it kept me from getting sick longer than I probably would have in any other time, because it detected that I had a fever early on and told me.
Type of shit.
Yeah, I mean, it takes your temperature and all that stuff, but in the app, it was like potential fever detected, and it told me what my temperature was. And then I took my own temperature and it matched. Actually, my ring said I was hotter than what the thermometer said. And so I just, did all the things that you do when you're sick, ginger ale, emergency, all the things. And then got home, put on some sweatpants and went to sleep in my sweatpants and woke up and sweated it all out. And I'm bringing this up because outside of everything else that we've talked about, Black people, male and female, this is not the time to ignore your health. We talk about cortisol levels. We talk about stress. We talk about diet. We talk about cholesterol. This is not the time to get lazy and lackadaisical with your health. I know we're stressed. We like to comfort eat. And listen, this whole time we've been on this episode, I've been eating a slice of pizza. So, like, I get it.
Tell them.
I'll be smacking in their ear any other time. Shit, they lucky I took my fucking rubber bands out and y'all don't hear my mouth squeaking this time. Oh, I got a new rubber band, and bitch, I fucking hate this new rubber band. It goes across my whole mouth. I'll tell you later. God. But yeah, Black people, this is not the time to ignore your health. So if you're somebody who wears an Apple Watch, or you have a Fitbit, or you're looking at the Oura ring and you don't mind the subscription, or you are interested in an Ultra Human ring, pay attention to your health. Pay attention to those things that raise your cortisol levels. Because as much as we joked about like healthcare and having insurance and benefits, the reality is there may come a time where doctors aren't able to see us because they'll lose their license. So let's start looking into some, natural homeopathic medicine and things like that so that you can start taking care of yourself.
How does one go about getting an Ultra Human ring?
So we can do it a couple ways. You can just Google Ultra Human ring yourself, Or
Okay.
if you are truly interested in an ultra human ring, DM either us through our Instagram page or DM me directly, and I will send you a link so that you get, I think it's $50 off, $25, something like that. It's some money off
Okay.
your purchase for the ring. And just to kind of give you a quick synopsis, it tells me a lot. So like I mentioned, it told me that I had a fever and that I was sick. I mean, what's really interesting about it is that it told me I was sick, and throughout the day at work, well, I didn't real I let me back up. I started to feel bad at work. And throughout the day, it just got progressively worse. And I was like, I don't know what's wrong. I feel gross. I feel icky. I feel whatever. And I get off work pretty early. So maybe like an hour before I got off work, I was like, I'm just going to check my stats on my ring. And I looked at my ring and it was like potential fever detected. And I was like, that would explain why I feel the way I did. Actually, as a matter of fact, that day at work, I remember feeling so gross that I, instead of taking an hour lunch, I took an hour and a half lunch, because the first 30 minutes of my lunch, I legitimately took a nap. Like, closed my door and took a nap because I was so hot. I couldn't figure out what was
Oh,
wrong with
wow.
me. Yeah, took a nap. But so it tells things like that. It also tells me like when I need to cut back on blue lights and being on my phone. It'll give me my sleep score. So, how I was just saying, like Paris kept me up. Last night it was okay, but the night before she was up a lot, and so I kept waking up to like she wanted to be in my room, then she wanted to be out of my room, then she wanted to, so like I kept getting up to accommodate her. So then the next morning it was like rough night of sleep ? And it shows every time I got up. Yeah, it tracks your steps. It tracks if you're somebody who works out, you can track your workouts. One of my other very favorite things, it's a favorite thing for me now, but it's something that I didn't even realize that could even play a role into like having a good night's sleep or, brain fog or things like that. It's something that's called your caffeine restriction window. So it learns your day-to-day patterns and what time you wake up and what time you usually go to sleep. And based on that, it tells you from this time to this time is when you can have caffeine for it to, one, actually do what we anticipate caffeine to do. But also it tells you when to stop and when to taper off your caffeine so that when you go home and get ready for the bed, you don't have any more in your system and you can have a good night's rest. It does monitor your like stress, relaxation, all that, which specifically for Black people ties into your cortisol levels. So it'll tell you when you're stressed or when you're you're stimulated or when you're overstimulated. Like right now I'm talking and I'm animated and it's telling me that I'm still stimulated because I'm excited. But also earlier today I had a situation at work that pissed me the hell off and my ring was like, Boo, you're a little stressed right now. And I was like, I know I am. I'm mad. But like it tells you that, and then it'll tell you like if you have a sleep debt. Like right now I don't have a sleep debt, so it's telling me like, get a minimum of 8 hours and whatever minutes of sleep. Like it's saying like recommended sleep window between 9:07 and 9:37. That's not gonna happen because it's 9:04 right now, but it like tells you all these things. It tells you like your recovery, and there's something else that's new on there. It's called your social jet lag score. So based on how you are going to sleep, it puts you in the time zone of wherever. So like last week, based on how I was sleeping, I probably would have been better off in Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, wow.
Because I was an hour behind of like being able to have like optimal sleep and all of that. So then it tells you like things that you can do to get really good REM, that good deep sleep, all of that. It tells you that. And then for ladies, let me be open-minded for people who have menstrual cycles, because I know not everyone has those pronouns, but for people who have those who have menstrual cycles, it tells you your phases, so luteal phase, ovulation, all of that, but it also pays attention to your basal temperature score and all of those things. And then it has meditations and breath work and all of that. So it really goes in depth. And then there's
some hot shit.
Yeah. Then there's other like things that you can add. So not that I need it, but you can also add like what is it called? What is it called? I won't say pacemaker, not pacemaker.
Your heart rate?
Well, your heart
beats per minute.
Well, it does do your heart rate in general. Like, it tells you your cardio age too, which I think is so cool. So like my cardio age is 34. Thanks. But yeah, it'll tell you like your cardio age. It'll also tell you like vitamin D. So like when you should go outside to get the most vitamin D through the sun. You can also track your food intake, and then it'll also based on your food intake. It'll say like, oh, you're eating enough food to get vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin whatever. What is the one I'm trying to tell you about? Oh, AFib.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So you can do AFib. Now that one is an additional cost, but it's only for like $4.99 a month versus Oura Ring. Everything that connects us to Oura Ring, you have to have a subscription for, on top of a subscription for Oura Ring. Can get quite pricey. Yeah, and then they also have one thing it's called like cardio adaptability or something like that. But yeah, you can track weight loss. You track all. It's really in depth. So I know I just kind of gave you guys a really fast / thorough rundown. But if you want to talk to me about it, DM me, DM us, whatever. And like I said, I do have let me see what this says. Refer a friend. What does it say? So this is interesting because it changes. Last time it said 15%. Right now it says 10%. So I guess it just depends on like time of year. I also got mine during Black Friday, so I got like sale on top of sale. I got to stack coupon codes, which was crazy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if y'all are interested in it, just DM me and we can talk about it, and I'll send you the link to get 10% off is what they're giving right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
get your ultra human.
Yeah.
Okay, your ultra human ring.
Mm-hmm. And if you know us in real life and you live in our city and state and you're actually like genuinely serious about getting an ultra human ring, and I see you on a regular basis or semi-regular basis, or could see you on a regular basis, don't order the sizing, like the ring sizer thing that they send you. I have it. You could just try mine on. Ain't no sense in.
You said don't order that shit.
Yeah, I got it
at the house.
Literally, I'm looking at it. So that's mostly for my friend girls. So like, if y'all think y'all want this ring, just yeah. It also saves you time because the rings are pretty much custom. Not like custom to fit your finger, but they make them on demand. They don't like stock them up and just have them waiting because it's actual technology. So like the chips can't just sit around, so they make them on demand. So if you want to get it sooner rather than late, because what usually happens is you order the ring and then they send you the sizing kit and you have to wear the ring sizer on whichever desired finger for, I think it's 4 days. I think that's what, 2 days, 4 days, something like that. And based off of that, then you can order your ring. So you can eliminate the process by just using the sizer, already having the sizer, and then you just go in and order the ring, and it asks you, do you know your ring size? You say yes, put your ring size, and then boom, they'll just start the process of making your ring for you.
That is smart.
Yeah. And they're also,
every finger is a different size.
Yeah. They're also really responsible. One of the other reasons why I chose them over the Oura Ring is they're also really responsible with recycling old product. So let's say this, I think right now I have they're on Ultra Human Ring X. Let's say they do Ultra Ring, X.2 or Air, whatever it is, whatever the next one is. If I decide that I want to upgrade, I can return my ring to them, use it as a credit for a new product, and they will dispose of this technology versus it just sitting in a box. We get old cell phones and they just sit in a box, or we throw them away the incorrect way and then the batteries leak out. So they're also really good on how they dispose of it if you decide. And if you are someone who has an Oura Ring and you're like, this shit is too fucking expensive, I don't really like it, or whatever the case may be, and you want to switch to an Ultra Human Ring, you get a credit for that too. Like that, and they'll take your Oura Ring too. You can send it to them and they'll dispose of it.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah. So that's my little health tip, because like I said, we about to be in stressful times, y'all, and this is not the time to
take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, not the
Get
time
your
to
sunlight.
neglect.
Take your vitamins.
Yeah. Eat a
Don't
vegetable.
get stressed. That's a lot. Speaking of vegetable, I had a senior citizen snack the other day, and I was in a group chat like, how come y'all bitches ain't tell me about broccoli salad?
That's a senior citizen snack?
Mm-hmm. With raisins. Mm-hmm.
Well then, bitch, I guess I'm a fucking senior citizen. I love
Like,
broccoli salad.
I said, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah. I love broccoli salad. One of our chefs at the school, and you know, this in general, you don't eat everybody potato salad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this chef, she's in particular, she's Black. Like last week, one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, chef made potato salad," and she obviously had to do it with the ingredients that we have in the kitchen at school, and a lot of our stuff comes from like hydroponic. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Gardens and things like that. There's a church garden right behind us, and so we get a lot of our herbs and things from that. Saying all that to say, she made a white dill potato salad. Now hearing it, you're like, baby, when I say this potato salad was so motherfucking good. You know.
I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Only
And she used, you know, fresh ingredients and all of that. So y'all just eat a little bit healthy, a little lighter. Just do a little lighter, please. Please.
Well, please, if not for you, not for me, for you.
Please. I know we love our food, especially as Black people, but let's not history lesson. Let's not forget how we got the chitterlings, okay? The reason why we were eating the chitterlings.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and how we got pork rinds, okay? They didn't want to eat them. And now here we are, however many years later, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pack a box of spices to go to fucking London, okay? All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up this week's episode of Girl, What's Up With That? We are glad to be back. Yeah. We're glad that you are back here with us. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. Again, if you want to talk about Ultra Human Rings, DM us, because I will
let us know.
Shitty chat about that. For my book friends, my book girls who love to talk about books, I am not promising that I am back on live all the time, mostly because I don't know what the fuck's happening with TikTok. But you know, my socials, the socials that I do have, they always have that link in that place where you can get the things. So follow me there. And we will chat with y'all later.
We will. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I promise we'll be back.